Hello and welcome back everyone to Link Between Worlds Part 3, and in this episode we'll be first entering Eastern Palace, complete with MS Paint backgrounds.
From A Link to the Past, I might add. And that's the
Yes,
Dark World.
for a majority of the backgrounds, because of all the empty space that we've got, I end up using Link to the Past art. Not always splash art, not always art directly from Link to the Past, the game, but once we get into the Dark World half of Link Between Worlds, we'll be seeing a bit more art from the actual guidebooks, because I went and stole those from the internet.
So there. It's alright. That every guidebook of A Link to the Past on the Super Nintendo, or even for the Game Boy Advance for that matter, is probably moldering in somebody's basement right now.
Alright, so one of the interesting things about Link Between Worlds is actually how different the dungeons honestly are. I mean, Eastern Palace feels very similar to the old Eastern Palace, but we don't have to deal with any dark rooms, and the level layout itself is both familiar and different. That trap was not there in the original game. And one of the big things about Link Between Worlds that makes it feel like such a better game is the small amount of differences that it has in comparison to Link to the Past.
Well, you also have to remember that they had to render this game into a 3D setting, so some of the 2D conventions would have ceased to make sense.
Not really, because our perspective is almost constantly still under the same 2.5D perspective that Link to the Past followed. It's only once we get our spoiler MacGuffin that we actually start seeing the real 3D nature of the world, and even then it's so minor that it doesn't really affect all that much. It's mostly a traversal gimmick.
Right, gimmicks. But you see, they have to prime because we haven't gotten the super special ability yet. So they're priming us by putting lots and lots of walls around us. Like right now.
Yeah, but we're gonna have lots and lots of walls around us for the entirety of the game.
Right. But in A Link to the Past, walls were usually periphery. In this game, you're gonna be kind of concentrating on them quite a bit more. And how the hell did you know where the boss room is if you didn't have the compass yet?
No, we didn't actually. I don't think the skull actually showed up on the map before that.
No. The skull on the third floor was always there.
Ah, all right.
Don't spend it all in one place. But I will. With this one, and this one, and even this one.
Yeah, 20 rupees is not going to get you all that far in this game, sadly. But that's because we happen to have a full 4 digits right off the get-go. Now, the spin attack actually does do slightly more damage. It's like either double or +1 damage in comparison to your normal sword swing. I'm pretty sure it's double in general, but we won't really be able to capitalize on that until much later on, once we get the much better swords.
And while Link gets shot at with arrows firing from the walls, I do like that they include the Link's Awakening checkpoint.
Yeah, although I specifically remember that style of checkpoint from Minish Cap.
Minish Cap, the Oracle games, and does Breath of the Wild also have a checkpoint system?
It has an autosave. It has an autosave feature. It's not really a checkpoint system, though. I mean, Breath of the Wild doesn't technically have dungeons. I mean, it does have dungeons, but there's a total of 4 of them, and they're so small that most people don't qualify them as actual dungeons, which is a bit stupid in my book. But you know, it's partially them being pissy about the Breath of the Wild design. For the record, I am not going to do a playthrough of Breath of the Wild. One, I would have to do it with a much better rig than I currently have, because I still don't actually have hardware recording, hardware for recording rather. And 2, I would need I would need to actually plan out a successful route for Breath of the Wild if I was going to do a full playthrough of it. Because Breath of the Wild is so goddamn long, and you spend the first half of the game being so ridiculously underpowered that you never actually want to do combat in Breath of the Wild.
Yeah. For more details, we have done other playthroughs. Just kind of letting Breath of the Wild down easy.
Yeah, I do enjoy Breath of the Wild. I do. I personally think it's like one of the best Switch games, but that doesn't mean it's flawless. And in fact, it actually is burdened by quite many flaws.
And
but this is Link Between Worlds, which is almost perfect. It also has a few flaws, but nothing so egregious as any of the flaws that I would level at Breath of the Wild. I actually go and replay a Link Between Worlds usually like once every other year. It's not as common as I go play Link to the Past again, mind you, but that's because Link to the Past is significantly easier for me to pick up and finish over Link Between Worlds.
Right, because of the new stuff, basically. It's a new game. That's sort of an old game, but it's actually a new game. And I don't think, and I had both failed to notice, I don't know if you had pointed out that your magic regenerates in this game.
Yes, that is because it's not magic. It is Ravio rental energy. It is something different.
Rental energy.
And Ravio said, "You got the rent money yet?" And I said, "No. I can't find no job. That's why I got no money to pay the rent."
Well, money to use my items, rather. Ugh.
Ravio said, "I don't think you're trying to find no job. I think you're going around dungeons and breaking pots."
Well, we are, also because that is, in fact, the most well-paying job in all of Hyrule is dungeon delving. I mean, Link across the many different incarnations has had many different career options available to him, and still the most profitable for him has been dungeon delving.
I mean, he's also been a professional sumo wrestler, a dancer, a sheep herder. Or what? He was either sheep. What was? I can't.
It was goats.
I struggle to remember what. It was goats from Twilight Princess, and he was a Poe hunter. He's a games enthusiast. He had a lot of jobs throughout his time. He was even a tradesman.
I still think that one of his most profitable jobs is actually that of landscaper, but, we only rarely, if ever, get shovels. Hey, Yuga, you're being evil. Now, my fine fellow, prepare to... Alright, good. I end up skipping through this stuff fast.
My collection of sages, which I will very angrily stuff you with!
Yes, the smallest details, like the fact that well, that guy still actually has the sand rod, and that is annoying.
I was going to say, yeah, because I saw Ravio's little Mickey Mouse ears on that thing.
All right, this is our first boss. This is our first boss fight in the game, and it is stupidly simple. Hit him with the bow and arrow, then charge up to him and smack him with your sword a couple of times.
Your anger issues cannot affect me.
Yeah.
Alright, one more cycle.
Yeah, he's just fucking with us.
There we go. We have successfully slain Yuga. Well, I hope you enjoyed our playthrough of Link Between Worlds, people.
I must brush you aside. I saw what he did there.
Oh no, we have become an ugly doodle on the wall.
Dun, dun. Except that we have a piece of the Triforce.
Actually, that's not what saves us. Although that is true, it's not what saves us. It's supposedly what saves us, but no, it's not.
There! You see? Do you see the tiny hole? Tiny hole!
our eyes moved.
But that's not... It's even on his wrist. How is this not the Triforce?
Because this is the Ravio Smelly bracelet that he gave us.
Thank you for
actually
being a
Walmart
Ravio
relic.
rental customer. We hope you enjoyed this resuscitation. Your life belongs to us now. Goodbye.
Ravio's bracelet saved you, but how?
But how?
Yeah, we don't actually ever get explained what Ravio's bracelet is. It's just the MacGuffin that saves us and allows us to do this. Welcome to the actual gaming of Link Between Worlds. We now have the ability to, well, jump into walls at the cost of rental energy. So yes, the Ravio rental energy is effectively our replacement for the magic meter, but I disagree with calling it the magic meter, even though that's functionally what it is, because, well, a majority of the rental items do not actually have magic properties at the start, and you end up spending that energy for them anyway.
Well, here's another critical similarity. Well, here are all the similarities. Oh, we're collecting wall rupees now. Awesome. We have effectively entered Chalk Zone. Yeah, you pick up magic vials, and it's on the side of the screen, responding and depleting as you use your items.
Yes.
It's basically a magic meter.
No, it's totally a magic meter. I just don't like calling it that. It is definitely a magic meter. But the fact of the matter is that I don't like calling it that because of all the items that we have that are not magical that end up using the energy meter any damn way.
I like it. I like that it gives you a lot of really colorful puzzles.
Yes,
because
if there's one thing that I will most certainly agree with, the puzzles in Link Between Worlds are both very intuitive and very rewarding to actually complete. I don't think a majority of them are very challenging, but they don't have to be. They just need to be fun, and that's what this game is. It's very, very fun.
Yeah, because when Link is on the wall, he is safe. You're allowed to make mistakes, like going in the wrong direction, and then sometimes you will die of traps. Or your own stupidity, because you will turn back into Link, and he will fall into a pit if it's below you when you run out of rental energy.
Yep. You can call it Magic Cloud, it's okay.
Because that's the primary connection. Ravio is basically Rudy from Chalk Zone, and he's bringing life to what's-his-name.
Yeah, so his Fala has been converted into a painting. Sorry, Sahasrara. Behold the power of jump cuts! In-game jump cuts!
Oh no!
I should have seen this coming. Ah, I see. So the entire castle is roped off.
Yep.
Well, that's different.
Actually, Sahasrara, Zelda gave us her pendant of virtue before we left. Yep, the pendant of courage.
Why in the Hyrule are you doing? What the Hyrule are you doing with that?
Hyrule is not a swear word, Sahasrara.
Ganon, damn it!
Yes, save. I think this is one of the very few instances where you get to save outside of a weather vane. Alright, so, whilst we're here, I should explain that now that Yuga has taken over Hyrule Castle, all of the paintings that were on the castle have become well, Ganon soldiers.
That is pretty funny, actually, because I was not expecting that. And not to mention that those little graffiti drawings were there since the very beginning of the game.